Good morning. This is the voting meeting before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Thursday, July 28th, 2022. While the public is encouraged to attend, there will be no additional public testimony accepted today. We will begin with the license premise inspection hearing, which occurred on Tuesday, July 26th, 2022. Item number 1, Concord Entertainment, Inc. doing business as Bill's Bar, the Lansdowne Pub located at 9 Lansdowne Street. Date of the incident, March 9th, 2022. Assault and battery, patron on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A.
Thanks, Danny. We did receive the supplemental internal reports from the licensee. I see no violation.
I agree.
Item number 2, Cardona's Inc. doing business as Barney's Grill located at 299 Haver Street in East Boston. Date of the incident, November 21st, 2021. Disorderly crowd in front of the business, 911 called in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and overcrowding, observation 100, capacity 62, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J and 1.06A and F.
I'm going to take them separately. I see no violation for disorderly crowd in front. I don't think, I couldn't tell if there was anything else that the licensee could do. But for the overcrowding, I do see a violation.
Started the same way.
I agree on both.
And based on the history, I think I vote for a second warning.
Sounds good.
So violation on the second count with a second warning. Item number 3, AM Callejas Inc. doing business as La Hacienda and Bar located at 144 through 150 Meridian Street in East Boston. Dates of the incident, May 6th and May 10th, 2022. Intoxicated minor on premise in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64. Intoxicated minor disorderly conduct while in front of premise in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64. Intoxicated minor assaulted responding police officer in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13D. And overcrowding in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J and 1.06A and F.
Thanks, Danny. I'm going to take the first 3 together, if that's okay. The intoxicated minor. This is a licensee that has been proactive and has reached out to the board even before this incident to get some education and some training on scanners and carding IDs. I do believe they're trying to do the right thing. They retrain their staff. That being said, I do see a violation and I would vote for a warning.
I agree.
And as far as the overcrowding, they're overcrowded by 5 people. I would vote to just docket that and send correspondence about proper staffing on busy nights.
Sounds reasonable.
Okay, so a violation with a warning on the intoxicated minor violations and a correspondence from the board on the overcrowding.
Mhm.
Items 4 and 5, Fuente Cleaning Services Inc. doing business as Biares Columbia at 28 Bennington Street in East Boston. The licensee failed to appear. We have been in contact with them and are rescheduling them for the next available hearing where they can appear. Items 6, 7, and 8, I'll concern the same licensee. Chairman Joyce, would you like to take these up together or separately?
We can take them up together unless there's any reason from the other commissioners. Okay.
Great, I'll read them all into the record. Item 6, Sam Spot LLC, located at 1476 through 1478 Dorchester Ave in Dorchester. Date of the incident, March 20th, 2022. Premise operating after posted closing at 3 a.m. in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9, Board's Rule 1.03M and 1.05A. Premise providing alcohol, food without a license in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 2, and Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9 and Section 4. Premise providing DJ music without a license in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 183A. Item 6 concerns the same licensee. The date of that incident was April 1st, 2022. Expired common victualer's license in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9 and Section 4. Premise operating after posted closing hour in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9 and Board's Rule 1.03M and 1.05A. Premise providing alcohol without being licensed in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 2, and premise providing DJ live entertainment in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 183A. And the third incident, once again, contains the same licensee. Date of that incident, April 2nd, 2022. Premise operating after posted closing in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9, and Boards Rule 1.03M and 1.05A. Expired common victualer's license in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9 and Section 4, and failure to admit Boston Police for inspection of licensed premise in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9, and Boards Rule 1.10A.
Thanks, Danny. We've been trying to reach out to this licensee for quite some time, and when we finally did, she did obviously appear for the hearing yesterday, and these are really serious violations, in my opinion. However, she is a successful caterer trying to expand her business into a full restaurant business with an event space. I can't look past these violations. She hasn't even amended her CV to reflect the tables and chairs she's trying to have or the event space. I would vote to suspend the CV until she gets fully inspected, so that she wouldn't be able to have tables or chairs or operate the event space until that's amended. But I would allow her to continue her catering business until that takes place.
So if I understand you correctly, I would vote to have violations on everything.
Yes, sorry.
I do want to make one point, except for me, I wouldn't vote on a violation on failure to admit on the third one.
Okay,
I didn't think we had her on that one, so I would say no violation on that one.
so violations on all of the operating past closing hours, violation for having a DJ when she wasn't permitted to, and based on those, what's that?
And expired CVs, right?
And expired CVs.
Correct.
So based on that, my vote would be to suspend the CV and not to allow her to operate with the tables and chairs until she amends it and gets all of her inspections up to date.
That
Yeah.
sounds reasonable. I mean, it's fitting with where she is in her current business. I mean, she really should just focus on the catering and get all of the things that are related to the CV together before she operates.
Yeah. I think we impressed upon her that she cannot have employees have birthday parties late at night or DJs late at night. And we'll be working with her to make sure everything.
I mean, she's really not even in a place right now where she should be operating the CV because of lack of inspections anyways.
Right.
Right.
Right,
And
correct.
to be more clear about what her employees are doing, if they're there after hours, just like to record what they're doing, if they're painting or just for her records.
I'm comfortable with that. I think it's good.
Okay, so the vote, as I hear it, is to suspend the common victualer's license pending full inspection by ISD and an update of the description of the licensed premise to include any seats she plans to put downstairs and to include the event space that she plans to utilize upstairs.
Is that good?
And
I'm
to try
comfortable with that.
Moving on to item number 9, Oliver Twist Inc. doing business as Cask and Flagon located at 62 Brookline Ave, date of the incident April 15th, 2022. Service of more than 2 drinks to 1 person, 2 pitchers of beer for 2 patrons in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64.
I see a violation.
Yes.
Danny, I looked at the history yesterday afternoon. I think there is no history for this.
There is no recent history at this premise.
I would vote for a warning.
I agree.
Violation with a warning. Item number 10, Yard House USA Inc. doing business as Yard House located at 126 Brookline Ave, date of the incident April 18th, 2022. Overcrowding on the outdoor patio, 177 mechanical count, capacity 105 in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Boards Rule 1.03J and 1.06A and F.
The back door was left open, which is an issue. No one was counting anyone on the patio. While the other areas weren't crowded, this still rises to the level of a violation for me.
I agree.
And there's no recent history for this, so I would vote for a warning.
I would agree with that. I would also like to note that it's my recollection that they blamed a previous violation on their private security contractor. And I would just want it noted to them, maybe in correspondence, that once again, because we have a subcontractor, does not absolve you of any responsibility. If someone doesn't show up, they need to take appropriate measures. And even if they are there, the real management of the place has to have real oversight of these subcontractors.
I concur.
Okay, so a violation with a warning and correspondence from the board reminding the licensee of their responsibility to comply with the conditions of their license. Thank you. Moving on to transactional hearing, which occurred yesterday, Wednesday, July 27th, 2022. Item number 1, Blue Bottle Coffee LLC, doing business as Blue Bottle Coffee, located at 113 Autumn Lane, has applied for a common victualer's license to be exercised on the above. Manager Robert Baldridge, hours of operation 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
I vote to approve.
Well,
Item number 2, Light Delight LLC, located at 44 North Beacon Street in Alston, has applied for a common victualer's license to be exercised on the above. Manager Dan Wu, hours of operation 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
I vote to approve.
well,
Item number 3, Lululemon USA Inc., doing business as Lululemon USA Inc., located at 206 through 208 Newbury Street, has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business to floor 1 retail, floor 2 cafe with seating for 40, fitness club and event space.
Vote to approve.
well,
Item number 4 has been withdrawn by the applicant. Item number 5, Fisher College, located at 19 Stewart Street, has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed premise to a 6th floor at American Youth Hostels, Boston Hostel Inc. From the first Friday in September to the third Friday in May, all common area facilities are available to occupants. Includes laundry room, kitchen, game room, lobby, etc., with 24 rooms and 55 residents.
I vote to approve.
you as well.
Item number 6, Northeastern University, doing business as Northeastern University, located at 1155 to 1175 Tremont Street, has petitioned to amend the description to a 22-story building with 1,002 rooms and 1,900 residents.
I vote to approve.
Well,
Item 7, Northeastern University, doing business as East Village, located at 291 St. Botolph Street, has a petition to amend the description to 426 rooms and 930 residents.
I vote to approve.
I do as well.
Item 8, Boston Ocean Club LLC, doing business as Mastro's Ocean Club, located at 22 Liberty Drive, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business to Connor M. Larkin.
I believe Mr. Larkin meets the requirements of a manager of record and has the appropriate character and fitness, so I would vote to approve.
Well,
Item number 9, Smashburger Acquisition Boston LLC, doing business as Smashburger, located at 545 Boylston Street, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business to Rachel Cirillo.
Ms. Cirillo meets the requirements of the manager of record, and I believe she has the appropriate character and fitness to be approved by the board. I vote to approve.
well,
Item number 10, Backstreet Boston Lessee LLC, doing business as Kimpton Onyx Hotel, located at 155 Portland Street, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business to Edward Wiles.
Mr. Wiles meets the conditions, the requirements of a manager of record, and I believe he has the character and fitness to be approved by this board.
well,
Item number 11, BAM Hospitality LLC, doing business as Fenway Marriott Residence Inn, located at 125 Brookline Ave, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business, and this was a clerical error on our part. This was to Corey Hayes.
You said the last name is Hayes.
Hayes, yep, Hayes.
Mr. Hayes meets the requirements to be a manager of record, and I believe he has the character and fitness to be approved by this board. I vote to approve.
well,
Item 12, Boston Palm Corporation, doing business as Boston Palm, located at 1 International Place, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business to Ryan Orglioso.
Mr. Orglioso meets the requirements to be a manager of record before this board, and I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness, and I vote to approve.
I do as well.
Item 13, Azumi LLC doing business as Zuma, located at 1 through 7 Dalton Street, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business to Taryn Leo.
Ms. Leo meets the requirements to be a manager of record approved by this board, and I believe she has the appropriate character and fitness to be approved.
Well,
Item 14, Facility Concession Services, Inc., doing business as Spectrum, located at 89 Guest Street in Brighton, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business to Michael McCurry.
Mr. McCurry meets the requirements to be a manager of record, and I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to be approved by this board.
well,
Items 15 and 16, Boston Culinary Group, Inc., doing business as the Orpheum Theater, located at 1 Hamilton Place, and doing business as the Boston Opera House, located at 539 Washington Street, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business to Sean O'Dwyer.
Mr. O'Dwyer meets the 4 requirements to be a manager of record before this board, and I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to be approved.
well,
Item 17, Boston Beverages Services, Inc., doing business as Battery Wharf Hotel Boston Waterfront, located at 3 Battery Wharf, has petitioned to pledge the license to Delaware Life Insurance Company.
I vote to approve.
well,
Item 18, South of Hicksbridge LLC, doing business as Alcove, located at 50 Lovejoy Wharf, has petitioned to pledge the license to Eastern Bank.
I vote to approve.
well,
Item number 19, AHF Speedway Holdings LLC, doing business as Charles River Speedway, located at 1420 through 1440 Soldiers Field Road in Brighton, has petitioned for the approval of a management agreement between AHF Speedway Holdings LLC and Birds of Paradise Cocktails LLC.
I vote to approve.
well,
Item 20, Simon's Package Store, Inc., doing business as Simon's Package Store, located at 2169 Washington Street in Roxbury, has petitioned for a change of officers, directors, LLC manager of the corporation, has petitioned for a change of stock and ownership interest, and has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business to Carlos Castillo.
Mr. Castillo meets the 4 requirements to be a manager of record. I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness, so I vote to approve the new manager of record as well as the other changes described in this application.
I do as well.
I agree.
Item 21, South End Movers, Inc., doing business as BK Pub, located at 4272 Washington Street in Roslindale, has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Den Cinco LLC, doing business as Borachito, the Garrett Boston, located at 70 Pier 4 Boulevard, Suite 270. Monroe Gavin Mosley, manager, closing hour 2 a.m.
I'm going to take the manager of record first. Mr. Mosley, I believe, meets the requirements to be a manager of record, and I would vote to approve him based upon his character and fitness. And as far as this transfer to a new location, I do believe that the applicant adequately met the requirements of a public need for a license at this location, so I would vote to approve that.
I do too.
Item 22, Dorchester Market LLC, doing business as Dorchester Market, located at 951 Dorchester Ave in Dorchester, has applied for a retail package store wines and malt beverages license to be exercised on the above. Peter McGee, manager, 11 p.m. closing hour.
I believe Mr. McGee meets the requirements to be a manager of record, and I also believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to be approved by this board. And I believe the applicant adequately described public need to add this license to this market at this location.
I agree.
Item 23, Trinity Stewart Concessions LLC, doing business as the Raffles Hotel, located at 40 Trinity Place, has applied for an in-holder all alcoholic beverages license to be exercised on the above. Oliver Dudler, manager, 2 a.m. closing hour.
Mr. Dudler meets the 4 requirements to be a manager of record approved by this board. I believe he has the appropriate character fitness. I would vote to approve Mr. Dudler. And I believe the applicant described the public need for this type of license at this location in this particular neighborhood. My vote would be to approve it pending the availability of such a license for which they qualify.
I agree.
And item number 24, Bedford Dining Inc., doing business as the White Horse Tavern, located at 116 through 120 Brighton Ave in Alston, has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Full Revolution LLC at the same location. Derek Brady, manager, 2 a.m. closing hour, The applicant has requested a deferral of the vote by this board so that they can submit an operations plan to the board for review.
Is the operations plan for this location or for another one of Mr. Brady's licenses? That,
The operations plan that they would like to submit would be for this location, for operations at this premise.
okay, can we just check the file? I believe he owes us another operations plan for one of the other restaurants that he runs.
That is true. We can remind them of that as well.
Okay, and I won't consider putting it back on the agenda until we had an opportunity to review all of that.
Thank you. We're moving on to non-hearing transactions. The following are applying for a new common victular license at a previously licensed location. Item number 1, Al Abrar Restaurant Inc., located at 805 Harrison Avenue. 20 seats. Shamso Deary, manager of record, hours of operation 10:30 a.m. through 8 p.m.
Vote to approve.
You as well.
Item number 2, Coco Coffee LLC, doing business as Coco Coffee, located at 255 State Street. Daoud Kiarizov, manager of record, hours of operation 6 a.m. to 11 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I do as well.
I agree.
Item number 3, Selly Family Group LLC, doing business as McDonald's, located at 1650 VFW Parkway in West Roxbury. Chirag Selly, manager of record, hours of operation 6 a.m. through 1 a.m.
I vote to approve.
Agree.
And item number 4, Selly Family Group LLC, doing business as McDonald's, located at 360 Western Ave in Brighton. Chirag Selly, manager of record, hours of operation 5 a.m. to 1 a.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
Following have applied for a one-day amendment to their existing license. All 3 of these pertain to the 103rd Annual St. Anthony's Feast. Item number 1, Ocean Inc., doing business as Pizzeria Regina, located at 11.5 Thatcher Street, has applied for a one-day amendment to their existing license to include an extension of the restaurant onto the street adjacent to their licensed premise. This would be August 25th through 28th between 11 a.m. and 11 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
Item number 2, Via Veneto Restaurant Inc., doing business as Filippo Ristorante at 283 Causeway Street. Similarly, one-day amendment to their existing license to include an extension onto the street adjacent to their licensed premise. Also, August 25th through 28th, these would be between 12 p.m. and 11:30 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
And item number 3, Massimino's Cucina Italiana Inc., doing business as Massimino's Cucina Italiana, located at 207 Endicott Street. Similarly, an extension of their existing license to include an extension onto the street adjacent to their licensed premise, August 25th through the 28th from 12 p.m. to 11:30 p.m.
I vote to approve.
The board has before them a list of applications for special one-day licenses, which have been reviewed by staff and approved by the board. And moving on to old and new business, item number 1 for acknowledgement by the board. Braymore Lounge Inc., doing business as Cornwalls, located at 642 through 648 Beacon Street, has provided the board with an updated floor plan, certificate of inspection, and fire assembly permit. Following renovations to the licensed premise, the description of the premise and the capacity remain unchanged. This is just a simple floor plan change.
Okay.
And item number 2 for vote, the board has deferred the following to allow for completion of the community process, which has since occurred. This is a transfer from Saturday Afternoon Inc., doing business as The Machine in Ramrod at 1254 Boylston Street. Transfer to 110 Boulevard Restaurant LLC, doing business as 110 Boulevard, located at 110 Broad Street. Lazarus Esquitas, manager, closing hour 2 a.m. And secondly, this is a change of the type of license from a general on premise to a Section 12 restaurant. We have received a letter of support from the Wharf District Council.
I believe we already voted for a public need in approving the manager the last time they appeared before us, but just to get on the record, I vote to approve this transfer and to approve Mr. Esquitas as the manager of record.
I agree.
Those are all of the items before the board today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great one.
You too.
Bye-bye.